Alrighty guys, I can't believe I'm saying this. This is going to be my first time doing an anticipated 5-star reading vlog. Where have I been? What have I been doing? I don't know, but I am so excited to jump on into this video with you guys. Welcome back for those that are coming back. For those that are new here, my name is Laura. Guys, I picked out some books that are anticipated 5 stars for me. We're going to read them together and see if they actually are. So, I'm going to go through the books that I have here. Am I partway through this video already? Yeah, I am late to getting to this introduction, but whatever, here we are. So some of my options for this video, we have Bless Your Heart, Ray Sutton by Susannah B. Lewis. This one is an anticipated 5 stars because I read A Weekend on Allison Island. This was one of my last books in 2025. Guys, I ate this up. This was a 5-star read. Absolutely amazing. The way she writes her characters, so incredibly great. So great. So that is why this one is on here. This next one, The Extraordinary Deaths of Mrs. Kipp by Sara Brunsvold. This one is on here because I've heard so many people have absolutely so many amazing things to say about it. So that is why this one is on here. This one is Christian fiction. These are both Christian fiction. Actually, 3 of the 4 here are Christian fiction. So anyway, that is why this one is on here. Everyone just has absolutely amazing things to say about it. A lot of people that love this book love my other favorites as well. So very highly anticipating this one. Although I'm also expecting this one to be very emotional, which, guys, emotional books are my thing. I love an emotional read, so another reason, okay? Then we have For a Lifetime by Gabrielle Meyer. Guys, I love this series. The Timeless series, if you have yet to pick up this series, what are you doing? What are you doing? So this one is a series about time crossers, and they go back and forth between time frames. So one day they'll wake up in one time frame, one day they're in the next. And guys, I cannot say enough good things about this series. Also, the way the faith elements are incorporated in this series, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. So far, book 1 is my favorite, but I do have high expectations. This one will hit 5 stars. The other 2 were, again, just absolutely phenomenal, and I literally cannot wait to jump into this book. I am so incredibly excited. The next one, this one I've heard really great things about from a lot of people who love similar books to me as well. And guys, this is an epistolary novel. I love epistolary novels. The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Society by Mary Ann Shaffer and Annie Barrows. So here's what this one looks like. Again, just highly anticipated. Obviously these all are, but like, I just love a great epistolary novel. And I feel it just like makes you so connected to the characters. And I literally, like I said, cannot wait to dive on in. So there are the 4 options for this video, and we are just going to get started and jump on into our first book. Guys, we are not starting this video off well. So the first book I ended up picking up is Bless Your Heart, Ray Sutton by Susannah B. Lewis. You guys heard how excited I was to jump into this book because I read A Weekend on Allison Island. I was so disappointed that I didn't even record anything. Yeah. Yep. I ended up giving this one 2 stars, and like, at first, in the very beginning, I contacted my friend Alicia. I was like, this is going to be a 5-star read for me because, like I said, she writes characters so incredibly well. But as I got further and further in, I was like, this is just not for me. I can see why people love this. I can see the southern charm to it. I just could not get into it. I could not connect. I could not be invested. And the way things unfolded and the way this ended, nah, not for me. So in this one, we obviously have Ray Sutton, and she is mourning her mother who had just passed in the beginning. And again, like I said, the beginning was phenomenal. I think the way that Susannah B. Lewis wrote the grief aspects and the way that Ray looked at losing her mother, and I even have some things like highlighted in here. That's how much I was loving this. So some of the things I had highlighted: nothing had changed in this place, and yet everything suddenly had. That was on the very first page. No, it wasn't. Third page. Then it says, Ray, when your grandmother died, I was left to go through 50 years of junk. There were sentimental things I kept, of course, her apron and photos and recipes and old letters, but I'm not going to put you through the painstaking process of wondering whether or not you should hold on to my old Richard Simmons VHS tapes or placemats I bought in the 80s or my Thigh Master. And this is going back to a conversation she had with her mother before her passing. And I feel like that hit on another level too, because it's just the reality of things. When someone passes, you have to go through all of their stuff. And at that point, like, okay, it might not have been as sentimental when they were there, but when you lose someone, their stuff just becomes so much more sentimental because they're not here anymore, right? So these old VHS tapes that you probably would have thrown away because you have no use with, they now become sentimental because the person's no longer here and you want to remember them, but then you end up holding on to so much stuff, and like, it ends up just being a process. And I thought she just was able to capture that so incredibly well. Here's another thing I highlighted. Besides, you ought to rejoice because I'll be reunited with your daddy. I'll be with my parents and my baby sister. It's been too long since I've seen my best friend Linda. I won't be sick anymore, honey. I won't have to worry about thigh masters or mason jars or anything else. Your mama is ready to go. And I feel like this also captures grief so well. Okay, so you might have a loved one who is just like ready to go, and they now see like what's important, and they now are just like, I'm so ready to be with these people who I know I'm going to be reunited with. And then the silly things that we stay focused on here in this world, thigh masters, mason jars, things like that, and it's just like, you see what's important and you're ready to go see your loved ones and you're at peace with it. And like, many people don't get to be at peace with it, I feel like, until like very, very close to the end. But like, even just knowing they're at peace with it, but we're still gonna mourn them here. And like, while they're not, you know, all worried about the thigh masters and mason jars and all of the silly things we worry about here, they're not worried about that, but we're still worried about it and still mourning them, and like, you know, all of that good stuff. I could go on forever about this book. Then another highlight says, when she was gone from this world, would it be too painful for me to even step inside the house? To cook in her kitchen filled with countless memories of her dancing barefoot to bluegrass while she fried pork chops in her cast iron skillet. To look out the living room window and see her empty rocking chair on the front porch. To walk past her bathtub and remember the nights she'd soak in it with a glass of red wine and a Danielle Steele novel. And just like remembering all the tiny little things that people do, and like, we don't necessarily realize it in the moment that we're soaking in those moments while people are here with us. But then when they pass, you realize how many of those moments you get to cherish, and like just the memories that were made when you didn't necessarily know memories were being made. And I love that. Again, guys, that is what had me thinking this book was going to be a 5-star at the beginning. Then we get further in and we uncover a lot of different stuff. So Ray, she had a husband, okay, and her husband started seeing somebody else, cheated on her, and just not good, okay? The woman was also very much younger than Ray, very beautiful. The ex ends up bringing this lady to Ray's mother's funeral. Okay? And that aggravated me. Okay? But then later on in the book, I don't want to say too much. You know what? I'm not going to say too much. I am not going to say much at all. But just know that he does come about later on in the book. And you obviously, so Ray has these feelings. Another thing I love about Susannah B. Lewis's writing, and again, you guys are probably gonna be like, well then why'd you give it 2 stars? She writes things how they would be, okay? So Ray obviously had a husband. She loved him, and her life was spent with him, and, you know, they've been through so much together. So obviously he's going to keep coming to her mind. But Ray also meets another man in this, and he is very sweet, but I still was not, like, rooting for him necessarily. And it just ends up being this triangle, and I'm like, between the cheating ex and then Ray having these thoughts of like, okay, I'm dating this man, but also my thoughts are with my ex. I didn't love it. That's the aspect I didn't love, and that like really put a damper on this book for me. I also, like, there's a group of elderly women in the background, and I would normally find that like heartwarming, and the things they were doing heartwarming. I feel like the triangle really ruined this book for me. Like, wholeheartedly ruined this book for me, and I couldn't get past it. So with that being said, I'm not going to say very much more of anything about this book. It ended up being 2 stars. The ending also was just like, oh my goodness, cringeworthy. And that is that. But is this the reality that sometimes happens? Yes. But still, not for me. So anyway, 2 stars, and yeah, first book of this vlog. Boy, was that disappointing. My hopes for a 5-star read were shattered with that one. And guys, honestly, I put this one down a while ago and had to kind of like recoup and not like get myself out of this slump that I was starting to be in from that book. So I took a little break. I put that book down, and guys, we started a new book. Okay, so this one is The Extraordinary Deaths of Mrs. Kipp by Sara Brunsvold. Okay, I am about halfway through, so I'm reading this with my friend Alicia. I'm on page 188. I should be a little bit further through, but I will catch up with Alicia. Guys, with the nice weather and the kiddos, we've been outside constantly, and it's been just so absolutely amazing. Anyway, this one, we have Mrs. Kipp, and we are introduced to her right at the beginning of this book. You know what? I should probably read the synopsis so I don't put any spoilers in here for you guys, because there is a lot that goes on in this book. It says, a throwaway assignment is about to change 2 lives forever. Aiden Kelly is talented, ambitious, and ready for a more serious assignment than the fluff pieces she's been getting as a cub reporter for Kansas City Star. In her eagerness, she pushes too hard, earning herself the menial task of writing an obituary for an unremarkable woman who's just entered hospice care. But there's more to Clara Kipp than meets the eye. The spirited septuagenarian, am I pronouncing that right? May be dying, but she's not quite ready to cash in yet. Never one to shy away from an assignment herself, she can see that God brought the young reporter into her life for a reason. And if it's a story Aiden Kelly wants, that's just what Mrs. Kipp will give her. But she's going to have to work for it. And again, I don't want to go too in depth with this one because I don't want to give away spoilers. But guys, Mrs. Kipp, wow. Wow is the word I have to describe her. She is a widow, and through the book you end up finding more about her story. But all I have to say is her personality, man, is absolutely incredible. The humor she has, the wisdom she has. And did I say this was going to be an emotional read at the beginning? I did. And boy, does this book tug on your heartstrings right from the beginning. Let me read some of my highlights in here. And guys, also with this one, it is a Christian fiction, and the faith elements are top notch. Okay, hold on. I'll share with you some of the things I highlighted. Okay, this was on the very first page. When I talk faith elements, she could only trust that the Lord was up to something because he usually was. Literally such a little highlight, but so meaningful. And then, let's see here. We have a conversation between her and the bus driver, which was just very heartwarming. And then this one. There are people that are constantly trying to help Mrs. Kipp, and Mrs. Kipp is just, she's a very stubborn. I wouldn't say stubborn. She's not stubborn necessarily, but she's very independent. She's very in her ways. She doesn't want help until it's like absolutely necessary. Here it says, so she's talking to someone. It says, honey, I'm only dying. I'm not an invalid. And I was just like cracking up because it's like, but you need the help, but you're also like not willing to take the help, but you do need the help. She's just an independent woman. And it says, such an odd feeling to know that once she walked in, she would not walk out. She clung to the belief that the Lord had something for her here. So she shuffled forward. Okay, so you can see how 1 minute I'm cracking up in this book with her saying she's not an invalid, and then the next minute just getting hit with the fact that she's walking into this care facility knowing that she's not going to have her normal life and walk back out. And it's just like the way that hits, holy moly. And this one, so she gets into this care facility, right? And the woman she meets first is not the woman who she's been talking to over the phone. She really has enjoyed the woman she's talking to over the phone. This lady is like, her personality's just not there. And she says to Mrs. Kipp, I can get you a wheelchair if you'd like, Mrs. Kipp, because they are walking to her room. And this woman is like walking real fast paced. And obviously Mrs. Kipp is not in the state to be walking super quickly. And Mrs. Kipp's answer is hilarious. I think a race car would serve me better, honey. And I just like, the personality of her is just absolutely incredible. The humor she has while she's going through this situation is absolutely incredible. And I literally just can't get enough of Mrs. Kipp. Anyway, I'm not going to read too many because you get the idea. There's humor, but there's also very deep aspects to this book. Things that will make you think about your life. And like, these are the kind of books that I give 5 stars to. The ones that make you like sit down and think. And you can feel the emotions. And you put yourself in Mrs. Kipp's situation. You're like, holy moly. And then you're also thinking like, one day, hopefully, God willing, you know, you're going to be older as well, right? And you might be in these situations, and like, how would you feel in this situation? And like, it makes you take a step back from where you are and like, what's important, what's not important, what should I be doing more of? Like, our time here spent on earth, and like, looking at it and just like, what's making a difference? And like, are you making a difference? And are you living the life you want to live? And just, there's so many questions to be asked. Anyway, we also have Aiden, who you heard on the back, is working for the Kansas City Star, which is a newspaper. And she ends up writing an email to the head of the newspaper and, you know, states her opinions and things. And she ends up being put back in her place. And her editor is like, you know what? I can't believe you did this. We're gonna assign you to write an obituary for a woman who is still alive but is passing. And so Aiden is sent to the task of writing the obituary for Mrs. Kipp. Things unfold. You learn a ton more throughout this book. I'm only like halfway in and I've learned a lot more. I will also say though that there is a time jump in this book. So we'll look back at Mrs. Kipp in the past. And I will say, for a good portion of the book, I was really loving those elements where we would go back into her past. But there is a part where it starts to be like, okay, I understand what's going on here, but also I'm kind of losing interest just a teeny bit. But there is also still a chance that this could be 5 stars because of how I'm feeling about this book. And just like, guys, the emotions you feel when reading this are just unlike any other. 1 minute you'll be laughing, the next you'll be on the verge of tears, and it's just, wow, is this an emotional read? So anyway, that is how I'm feeling about this one. And I can't wait to dive further in later today. I will take you guys along with me. We are going to do more updates from here on out, I promise you. So here is that one, and we are going to get going with the day. So right now, little David is out with my parents for lunch. Grace is out with Big Dave getting some things he needs for tomorrow. He has a grandmother who is elderly, and he's going to go up and help the family clean up her house because they are going to be putting the house on the market very shortly. And with her going into skilled nursing care, so right now she's at a rehab facility coming out of the hospital, and she's going to be going into skilled nursing. And just having that life experience of having a loved one go into skilled nursing. My grandmother was in a home as well, and just like living through these moments now, you get an understanding of how elderly ones can feel and may think about these kind of situations, and it just hits 20 times harder. Anyway, enough of the rambling and ranting. I have the house to myself right now, so I am getting a little bit more recording done. I just did my April reading wrap up for the mid-month, and we are also going to be doing, in case you guys didn't notice, I'm doing like Faith Fridays. I've done 2 videos about me reading the Bible. The first one was for beginners. The next one was just like what I use to annotate in my Bible, and I've been loving Faith Fridays, so we're going to keep those going here. So stick around for those as well. But if you guys did not see, we are also doing a giveaway over here, and of course all of the details will be in the description down below. But I ended up purchasing myself a Kindle Color Soft, and I wanted to upgrade one of you guys as well, so I purchased one for you guys. I am not getting up to get it. It is like literally physically sitting right over there, and I am too lazy to get up and get it. But when we hit 3,000 subscribers over here, I'm going to be giving that Kindle to one of you guys. And all you have to do to participate is leave a comment on the videos down below. From when the giveaway started to when we hit that 3,000 number, guys, the giveaway is going to be going on for that long. You get 1 chance per video, and all you need to do to enter is like literally leave a comment. At the end, when we hit the 3,000, I will pick 1 random video, and I will pick 1 random commenter, and that is who is going to get the Kindle. So wanted to throw that out there as well. But guys, so looking forward to diving back into Mrs. Kipp. Let me know if you've read these books. Have you read Bless Your Heart, Ray Sutton? If you did, let me know your opinions down below. Like I said, I had an unpopular opinion on this one, but if you've read also Mrs. Kipp, let me know. What were your thoughts, feelings, and emotions through this book? Did you love it? Did you not love it? Let me know. I am so curious. So we will get into reading after I'm done filming my videos, and I will see you guys then. Wow, guys, have I been absolutely terrible at updating you guys. I was reading The Extraordinary Deaths of Mrs. Kipp, and you guys know, for those that have been here a long time, tabs in my book mean I have finished this book. Guys, okay, so I get why there is so much hype surrounding this book. It's something like I've never read before. And I was talking with Alicia. I buddy read this with Alicia. If you don't know who Alicia is, I will link her Instagram down below. Go follow her. My tastes are extremely similar to Alicia's. So if you like being here and hearing my thoughts, most likely you will love hearing hers as well. Anyway, guys. Okay, where was I? I understand why this book has so much hype surrounding it. It deserves it, okay? Look at all of those tabs. I am someone who doesn't like when the tabs like fully stick out of the book. You can only see like a little portion of them sticking out of the book here. This is tabbed up. There are highlights everywhere. And guys, that's when I know it's just an absolutely amazing book. Here's the thing about this one. I heard it was slow paced, which made me really nervous going into it. I am not someone who likes slow paced books whatsoever. This is slow paced in its own way. It is so incredibly unique. Guys, my Christian girlies out there, the faith elements in this one, phenomenal. I don't know if you can tell, you can't really tell the colors. All of the blue are faith elements, and guys, I didn't even highlight it all. And on top of that, okay, people are iffy about picking up Christian fiction because they think it's like cheesy or the faith elements are overdone or something of that nature. With this one, guys, while there are so many faith elements, it is done so incredibly well. It's so good. So, with that being said, guys, this one, okay, I may have like completely flopped on the first book. 5-star. 5-star, yes, definitely. I will remember this book for so long. I also love how this author got you so incredibly invested. There's so much I can say about this book. It is an emotional one, so know that before going in. Obviously, it talks about death, and we have Mrs. Kipp who is in hospice, so you know there's death involved, and like talk of it and talk of like what happens prior to dying and thoughts and feelings on it and all of that stuff. There's a heaven talk, and the way Mrs. Kipp, the way her personality is, the way she presents herself. I'm sorry, guys. I'm like shaking because I had my coffee and I just woke up not that long ago. The way she presents herself, the opinion she has, the wisdom she has. This woman, holy moly. And something I absolutely love, if you are in your Bible, if you have gotten to the part, just in general, anything about David, you will see that David is always like, this is not my doing. Like, this is the Lord's doing. Like, you know, people shouldn't be praising me. You gotta praise the Lord, right? And I love that about Mrs. Kipp as well. That's how she is. That's who she is. And, oh, guys, her favorite book in the Bible, it all comes together. It all makes sense. And I am not going to spoil anything, but like, man, was this a heart-wrenching, yet also heartwarming read. What, crazy girl? There's black on what, baby? Okay, well, come throw that part out if you don't want it, baby. There's black on her banana. So anyway, complete hit. Complete miss to complete hit. And guys, I am so excited to start our third and final book. And this one's going to be a hard one because I have book 3 in the Timeless series, and I have the, what is it though? I always like completely butcher the name of this book when it's not in front of me. The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Society, something of that nature. And I really want to read that one because it's epistolary, but I also like, I need to dive back into Timeless. So we shall see which one I pick up next. As you can hear, the kids are up, awake, and I need to get Grace ready for preschool. But I'll pick a book up later today. We shall see what it ends up being. And I'm really hoping to update you guys more. I am sorry. I've been absolutely terrible. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. I am also getting sick. Little David had this cough for what feels like forever, and now I have it. But anyway, we will see together what I end up picking up later on today.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left.
Alrighty guys, terrible angle, but I just woke up not that long ago, and I know I've been terrible with updates. You are going to hear the kids in the background. They are currently having a picnic in the other room and like have set up a table and everything else. So you will hear them. But here's my update for the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. Guys, you can see my bookmark. Okay, I got a little bit further in because I did read some on my Kindle yesterday and also before bed. So my Kindle says I am about 25% of the way in. I think it was like 23% or something. I am rounding up. But guys, I stopped here in this book because I just felt like I could not connect. There's part of me that like, I feel like epistolary, you have to have a connection to the characters. Also, like, with it being epistolary and it being correspondences, I feel like you can't introduce too many characters at once. And I feel like there's a little too many characters. I almost feel stupid reading this because part of me is like, okay, I get it. Like, I get our character Juliet. I feel like she's the only one where I'm fully like, okay, I know who she is. Where the other ones, I'm just like, I have to continue to, I'm going to move a little bit further away from the kiddos to see if it helps with not being able to hear them, but I doubt it. She is the only character where I'm like, okay, I don't have to think back about like who she is and like everything else. So, but I'm still lacking connection even there. And I'm just, it's not going to be a book for me. And you know what? I thought Epistolary was for me, but the more I think about it, the more, I don't know. The only epistolary novel that I loved was The Correspondence. And honestly, that one was the only one that I like loved. And I've read other epistolaries and it's just like, they're not hitting like that one did. I think that's because these books have to be written a certain way in order for the reader to connect with them. But again, this one is an unpopular opinion. So many people love this book. I'm going to end up DNFing. Did I tell you in my April mid-month wrap up, I had not DNF'd a book yet? Well, here is number one book DNF'd in April. Again, I am sorry the updates were like few and far between here. And basically when I was done each book, oh, my reading vlogs are not usually like that. But you know what, guys? I am still counting this reading vlog as a win because we still did have a 5-star read, which are very hard for... which are very hard for me to... What are you pretending to cry? Hey. Are you pretending? Can you smile for everybody? Let them know you're not really crying. You silly. 5-star reads. Can you stop? 5-star reads are really hard for me to come by. And the fact that we had one in this vlog is a huge success. So I'm still counting it as a win, even though we had a 2-star and a DNF. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. Should I have read the Timeless book? Yes, I should have. But here we are. Here we are, and I will read it later this month. But thank you guys for sticking with me for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope to be doing these kind of vlogs more often because I should be reading books more often that I would anticipate being 5 stars. And I have a ton of them on my shelves that I end up putting off because I'm like, I can't read this now because I need to just stop putting off my 5-star reads. Anyway, that wraps up this reading vlog. Thank you guys for sticking with me. I am sorry you can hear all of the chaos and craziness that is what comes with having 2 little ones. Such a blessing though. Anyway, I will chat with you guys soon. Thanks for sticking with me. Also, don't forget to leave your comment for a entry in to win the Kindle Colorsoft. Thank you guys again. Let me know if you read these books in the comments down below. And I hope you guys are having an awesome April. Also, let me know if you've had any 5-star reads this month yet. Let me know in the comments. Thanks, guys, and I will see you soon. And someone else wants to say bye, too. Can you say bye-bye?
Bye.